Hello, you are listening to Love is Priceless, Vani. I am your host, Vani. In today's episode, the virus that was bothering my student, Soumya, will be attacked. According to our plan, I appear before the man in the green shirt who turns out to be Mantu, the fruit vendor. Listen to how I quickly scare the spoiled young man away by using my angry gaze and feigned fearlessness, even threatening to shut down his shop. This victory fills me with a new resolve to make the women of the country fearless. But the story takes an unexpected turn. 2 months after I joined my job, Alaka Bhatia mom invites me for lunch at her grand residence. Why did an ordinary teacher receive this invitation? You will hear what mom found in me that day of the interview that made her feel I was like her. Was it my honesty or the spirit of my sacrifice? Today begins the chapter of the special bond between Alaka mom and me, because of which this entire autobiography was written. Keep listening to Love is Priceless, Vani. You will hear Episode 5, Victory over Mantu and Alaka mom's invitation. As per the plan agreed upon with Soumya, I started leaving for school 15 minutes earlier than usual on my scooter. I would follow the school bus and reach the school. This was the third day of doing so. Just as the bus reached the school gate that day, I saw an incoming call from Soumya. I took the call, and Soumya informed me, "Mom, the man is wearing a green shirt." By then, I had also reached the school gate. I saw the girls getting off the bus and going inside. A young man wearing a green t-shirt was standing on a bike a short distance from the school gate. I looked at him closely. He seemed familiar. When I parked my scooter near him, he became flustered. I recalled that he was the fruit vendor. I often used to buy fruits from his shop.
Hello, Madam G.
He was surprised to see me in front of him. Hello. I was angry. Still, I maintained control. He was about to leave. Wait. Tell me your name. You are the fruit shop owner, right? I stopped him. It was clear from the expression on his face that his misdeed had been caught.
Yes, Madam G. My name is Mantu. Now he was panicking.
I maintained a composed demeanor. So Mantu, is it true that you have come here following a girl? My tone became firm.
Madam G. What are you talking about? I am a decent person. He was stunned.
But, Mantu Fruits, I have often seen you standing at the school gate or riding your bike with the school bus for more than a month. I want to know, if that is not the reason, then why are you doing this? Partially lying? I mentioned the name of his shop. Mantu lowered his head. He did not answer. Do you want to get your shop shut down? If I complain to the women's police station that you stand at the gate every day attempting to lure schoolgirls and follow the school bus, you will get into serious trouble. I threatened him. I am surprised at myself. How did I get so much courage? When Mantu realized the issue was reaching his shop, he came into a posture of surrender.
Madam G. Please forgive me. I will never do this again, he pleaded.
Seeing the problem resolve with less difficulty than expected, I decided to put a little more mental pressure on him. So, leave this place immediately and take care of your shop. I will visit your shop to buy fruits occasionally. I will remind you to stay on the right path, I warned him while giving instructions. The expression on Mantu's face was as if he had been relieved of a ghost. He immediately started his bike.
Madam G. I will never make such a mistake again, he said as he sped away.
I started thinking, Soumya is fine. Now I myself might become the target of such spoiled youths. I felt that this incident today might not prove to be a problem for me later on. Then I tried to reassure myself. The image of our government is such that it can go to any extent to ensure the safety of girls, women. This is what keeps the audacity of these chapri-type people in check. In such a situation, at least no harm can come to me in broad daylight from Mantu, whose shop and identity I know. After finishing my lecture in the 10th grade, I told Soumya to come and meet me in my office during the break. She came to meet me. Soumya, from now on, focus on your studies without any distraction. That man will neither follow you nor appear anywhere, I assured her. Thank you, Mom. Was it such a simple task? I was afraid that by telling you, I might have created a problem for you. Soumya is still very young. It is natural for her to be skeptical. This job is not that simple. Just understand that both of us are lucky. That is why it was resolved with just a little effort, I explained with a smile. When Soumya left, I began to think, the fear that a brilliant student's, Soumya's, future might be ruined filled me with such courage. Only with the use of my angry gaze and feigned fearlessness was I able to make Mantu understand what was best for him. Otherwise, I am a quiet girl who minds her own business. I remember, I also received support from Ragini Mom and Alaka Mom during my difficult times. I think if we can, we should definitely do such work. Only then can half of the country's population, women, without fear, participate with 100% capacity in achieving the goal of national development and prosperity. And in our India, women can also get opportunities to live a happy life in the near future. Scene change. I believe that this lecturer position was given to me based on my talent and qualifications. Still, sometimes the opposite thought crosses my mind. Then I think that during the interview at the time of my selection, they barely asked me any questions that could gauge the depth of my knowledge. Moreover, the fact that my salary was fixed at double that of others is definitely a favor shown to me by Alaka Mom. This happened approximately 2 months after I joined the job. Alaka Mom called me to her office at the school. I went to meet her. Tomorrow is a holiday. If it is convenient for you, please have lunch with me at my house tomorrow. That would please me, she said after I sat down in the chair. Hearing this, I could not believe my ears. Where is Alka Bhatia, a reputed and wealthy woman of our city, and where am I, a simple school teacher? How could I refuse her? Mom, it would be a matter of great pleasure for me too. Please tell me when I should arrive at your house tomorrow, I said politely. Thank you, Vani. This contains my address and contact number. You can come to my house by 11 or 11:30. If you wish, I can also send my car and chauffeur to pick you up. Mom smiled while handing me her card. Mom, there is no need to pick me up. I will come on my own scooter. I did not want to burden myself with unnecessary favors. That's good. Then we'll meet tomorrow. Bye. I could understand her busy schedule. I said, bye, and left her office. That night, I told my father about it. Dad was also happy and excited about this invitation I received.
Being so closely acquainted with Alaka Bhatia should be a matter of pride for you. Dad looked proud himself.
The next day, I was so eager to reach Alaka Mom's house, like the eagerness a sweetheart feels when going to meet her beloved during the start of her youth, as I had read in romantic novels. However, the feelings experienced during the beginning of my youth were no longer within me after the untimely death of my mother. Since then, my interest in reading novels had also faded. I reached Alaka Mom's house at 11 o'clock. Her residence was not a normal house but a grand mansion. The guard at the gate asked my name. Upon telling him, he opened the gate and allowed me, along with my scooter, to go inside. I reached the large porch. 2 cars were parked there. I was well acquainted with one of them. Mom didn't come to school every day, but on the days she did, she usually came in that car. I parked my scooter on one side of the porch. By then, a maid had arrived. She greeted me. At her direction, I followed her to a magnificent drawing room. The maid asked me to sit. I sat down on one side of the expensive, comfortable sofa, hesitatingly and cautiously. About 2 minutes later, Alaka Mom came there and immediately welcomed me by hugging me. Then, holding my hand, she seated me next to her on the sofa. Her behavior was like that of a mother in a wealthy family with her young daughter. Vani, I wanted to invite you for lunch earlier, but due to my busy schedule, I couldn't call you sooner, Mom explained. Mom, do you invite all the teachers in the school for lunch like this? I asked a silly question out of curiosity. Actually, Vani, this school is not my only work. I also own an acrylic industry, the CEO of which is also me. In such a case, even if I wanted to invite everyone on the school staff, it would not be possible due to my lack of time. As for you, on the day of the interview itself, I saw something in you that seemed similar to me. That's why I was eager to meet you. Mom looked at me affectionately, explaining while understanding my state of mind. Gemini's critique and creative guidance. Dear listeners, this is the conclusion of episode 5 of Love is Priceless, Vani. This episode reveals Vani's courage and establishes her mentor-mentee relationship with Alka Bhatia. Strength and narrative development of episode 5. Current narrative, resolution of Mantu. Realistic courage. Vani's handling of Mantu, the fruit vendor, by using a lie and a threat, fear of shop closure, seems extremely realistic. It shows that sometimes, practical courage is needed for justice, not just adherence to rules. Self-actualization. Vani's thought that she might now become the target of spoiled youths confirms her introverted nature. But her conclusion that the safety of women alone can ensure their 100% participation in national development reveals her social consciousness. Relationship with Alka Bhatia. Beginning of mentorship. Alaka Bhatia's invitation to Vani for lunch is not a common social event. Alaka's statement that, "I saw something in you that seemed similar to me," clearly indicates that Alaka sees an image of her past self in Vani. This is the foundation of the deep emotional bond between the two. Simple acceptance, Vani's eagerness, hesitation, and discomfort upon seeing the grand mansion, all are natural for a girl from a simple background. Alaka's warm welcome with a hug immediately closes this social and economic gap. This episode establishes Alaka Bhatia as a hero in Vani's life. Guidance for audio presentation. Vani's tone. Conversation with Mantu. Vani's tone while talking to Mantu should be harsh and unusually firm, so much so that she is surprised by her own courage. There should be a slight sarcasm when she says, "Mantu fruits." Conversation with father should be a mixture of pride and affection, especially when she tells her father about the job. Character's tone. Mantu, his nervousness and indiscipline should be reflected in the pitch and stuttering of his voice. His tone should be excessively meek while pleading. Alaka Bhatia, her tone while welcoming should be affectionate but self-controlled. When introducing herself as a CEO as well, the tone should convey power and importance. Music. The music during the conflict with Mantu should be tense, changing to a victorious and assured tone when he flees. Gentle and peaceful background music should be used during the scene of Alaka Mom's grand mansion. Episode 5 ends.